Really, it's just always working at their relationship, I think. People get way too complacent, and they think that it's supposed to be easy and it's supposed to feel like when you first met, and that's not how it is. And you should just keep dating. Keep doing stuff together, keep experiencing new things. We learn new things about each other all the time, which is just great. So that's really what it is. You have to just keep reinventing it, keep dating and everything.
I done been through so much shit you couldn't fantasize it. Trying to speak on what I lost, but I could never find it. I'm sorry if I get that love.
Welcome back to Opinionated, the podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Hicks, and alongside me, as always, is my brother from another mother, Ree Washington. And today, we have doctors in the house. Dr. Eric and Alyssa Phillips. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Doing great. Thanks for having us, too.
I mean, I'm kind of like on cloud nine right now because we don't normally have doctors on here, but I have to ask, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Go ahead.
We met in school.
What school?
We went to Cleveland Chiropractic School.
Okay.
We met the second day of school. He made eye contact with me and walked over to me and told me that he had the lifeline for the rest of school. So, we got a Dropbox.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, well, I have it. Do you have it? And I said, no. And he's like, okay. And I said, well, can I get your phone number so I can get it? And he's like,
that's how you moved in?
yeah. And he was like, well, I don't give my number out that easily. And I was like, oh, so he's sassy. And then he's like, actually, here it is. And took 30 seconds. And then the rest, we just hung out nonstop ever since. So.
Wow,
So we got her version.
She really jumped right into it.
Uh-huh.
I'm Eric Phillips, Overland Park. Obviously, we met in school. Second day, I had a girlfriend at the time, so I really wasn't looking. I really wasn't looking for anything.
But I changed that.
But yeah, she changed
Right,
that.
right.
And pretty quickly realized that I guess the corny saying, "When you know, you know." So she made it pretty easy. So.
I wonder what that feeling is like.
At this point, I'll never know. No, but just tell us a little bit of, what made you guys want to be, chiropractors.
Okay.
So Alyssa has a good story. I'll let her kind of tell hers.
So I'm from Iowa, and I came down to KU because no one from my high school was going there, and I wanted to just completely start over. My freshman year, I had kinked my neck and then went to the chiropractor. And I had talked to him and told him that I felt sick every single day, and he could tell that something was wrong. And so he had worked on my diaphragm and abdomen because I had acid reflux, and being 18 years old and having acid reflux is kind of bad. And he made me feel better. And so for the next couple days, I didn't feel like puking every day. And I was like, okay, what'd you do to me? And why do I feel better? And because I had been on 4 different medications and had gone to 5 or 6 doctors. None of them had made me feel better. All the medications made me puke more, and this doctor had made me feel better. So I wanted to see what he did to make me feel better, and I wanted to do it to other people. Mm-hmm. And so that was why I became a chiropractor. It had nothing to do with being adjusted or anything with my spine. It was because he made my stomach feel better. It was crazy.
Something as simple kind of changed your life and made you go down the path and give back.
Yep, that's exactly what I wanted.
Exactly. I always was interested in medicine. It was either that or architecture, and the school I went to didn't have architecture. So I just kind of decided to go into the medical route. I was pre-med while I was in school. I had grown up around chiropractic. They had helped me a lot in my sports when I was younger, from several things, from my heel, my back. And it just really interested me being able to help people in a natural way. And I think you have to think a little different when you don't have immediate things you can jump to kind of treat people in terms of we just prescribed this medication, or let's just jump to surgery. So it made you think a little bit deeper and really assess people and listen to them and kind of decide, okay, yes, they need this, but why? What patterns are they doing that are causing this, and how can we correct this, not only short term but long term? And that helping people actually make a lifestyle change really interested me, rather than putting a Band-Aid on there and saying, okay, you'll feel better, but this is probably going to come back. So.
And that's something I kind of talked to him about. When I go in there, I think it's always you try to do a little bit more? Do you have to know, but you always try to go a little above and beyond, whether, it's researching something is, well, I don't know what the problem is, but I'm going to try to figure it out with you, because obviously people come in there with no idea what's going on. Like, I'm not feeling good. It's like, okay, can I help you? Then you go just a little bit, further. So I think that kind of is the reason why you guys keep clients and keep, that relationship strong.
For sure. To kind of speak on that too, I think that's something that's kind of been lost in the medical profession overall,
Right.
is really truly taking a step back, listening to our patients, understanding why they're having their problems, and diving even deeper into it and taking the time to do that. It takes more time than most people think.
But also being okay to say, I don't know,
Yeah.
and that I'm going to research and figure out the actual answers to what's going on, instead of just throwing some darts at a dartboard and hoping you
Yeah.
get the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think for me, like as a patient, if you don't know, I'd rather you tell me you don't know
Yeah.
than tell me something and it's like I'm taking a bunch of medicines that's not working and I'm wondering why isn't it working, because you just weren't honest with me. But sticking on the path of the medical field, that is a hard field but a well-respected field. How, like, was there ever moments when you guys were in school where you were like, I can't do this, why am I doing this?
Yes. So we
What try was it that you were like,
Um,
I'm done?
So I have severe test anxiety, and in chiropractic school we take over 400 tests,
Wow.
and
That's sick.
it was awful.
That's so sick.
The second year of school, we got married on a Sunday, and then the following Friday we had our part 1 board exams. I failed 2 parts of my first board exam. The first one was general anatomy, which I am great at, but as I psyched myself out. And then another one, it took me 3 tries after that to pass it. And if you don't pass it on the 3rd try, then all school stops, and then you have to take it, and you can only take it every 6 months. So I was like feeling all of the stress. And then part 2 comes, and I failed 2 parts of part 2. I failed part 3 and physical therapy. So that was all in one weekend. So I had to retake all of those. And then part 4 came, and part 4 was hands-on and showing that I can be a doctor. And I passed with flying colors. So I wanted to quit year 2 through 4.
Every week was like, I'm
I did
done.
better, though.
And he said, just finish school and you could be a stay-at-home mom if you want to. You don't even have to practice, but we're just going to finish. And then we took 6 months off after school, and I love my job. It's not a job. It's what I was meant to do.
Sometimes they say you learn more on the field than, in school. But what were you saying?
The crazy thing about it is we graduated with a ton of kids that were like extremely book smart, but the communication skills are lacking, compassion's lacking, and it doesn't correlate to being a good doctor if you just pass every single course with flying colors. Because honestly, if I'm being honest, I pass all my courses. I do pretty well in school, but I'll hands down a much better doctor than me, and that's just, she's incredible. I can't speak highly enough of how good she really is. So,
And I think, and
she's-
sorry to
she's-
cut you off. Yeah, go ahead.
she's good. So,
And I mean, just talking about that in general, like, I was a comm major, so communication and rhetorical studies. There were people in my classes who were book smart. I mean, always aced every test, but when it was time to like do public speaking or interact with other people, like they just shut down. I was like, you know what, college, it doesn't really prove anything to anybody. Yeah, you can graduate with a 4.0, but when you get that degree, what can you do outside of it? Can you master your actual art in your field?
Yeah.
So, no, I agree. I have like test anxiety as well. I'll tell people that I'm just bad at tests. I don't. But
Cover it up a
yeah,
little bit. Cover it up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not
Testing's
testing.
hard.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard.
So you guys started a clinic, not a clinic, but a
that's
business
what we call
together.
it.
Yeah, a clinic.
Yeah. We started a chiropractic clinic. That was always my goal. I think it was always her goal as well. I didn't really want to work for anybody else. That's just not how I work. And we took about 6 months off, like she said, after chiropractic school and did emergency substitute teaching. So you're a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awful.
So
Bless
much
you.
respect for you.
Oh, hey, look how she was with school saying she's going to quit. I'm like that every Friday.
Say, Ree, let me tell you something. Like, just go ahead and talk to me. Man, talk to me. And he gets to tell me about the day.
I call him. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
What grade are you?
6 through 12.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So we did mainly 6th through 8th grade. And man, those kids are bad.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you're an emergency substitute.
Exactly. Like, so me, I'm a permanent sub. So like, I'm at the school every day, almost like a real teacher.
Yeah.
Whichever teacher's out, I'm there. And you know, the high schoolers are easy. They don't care. They just want to get out of there. They think they're grown anyway. Those 11 through 14-year-olds, I tell you.
Awful.
They're
awful.
like the 6th graders, you know, you can scare them a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But once they get past that first year, they're like, I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I'll say whatever I want to you. All you're gonna do is send me to the office.
Exactly.
So I kind of wanted to, we spoke off camera about it, but I think it's important. So you guys are married. You guys do have a, practice together. How do you guys keep that relationship lit? How do you keep that fire going? Though it probably gets hard at times,
go ahead.
constantly working around each other, having to go home with each other, you know what I mean? How do you guys keep that fire lit?
So since we met in school, all we've ever known is to be around each other 24/7. And early on, like, I don't like competing with each other. I'd rather grow together and build things together instead of fight each other to see who's better. So we had to go through a lot in the beginning because we didn't want to compete like on tests or get a better grade than the other person. But then, I don't know, that taught us like life lessons for as we grew, like, we're going to do it together. No matter if one of us fails, like I failed quite a few times, he still was there to grab my hand and drag me along and get me through. But I don't know anything else besides us being together all the time. And like yesterday, he was gone for 30 minutes getting his hair cut, and I was like, I miss you. So like, and we've been together almost 8 years now, and I can still say that I missed him after 30 minutes, and that may be too sappy or annoying, but
So he still gives you that butterfly.
yes, he
feeling.
does.
I don't get my number out this easily. Gotcha.
I think the biggest thing about it and being able to do it is, like, you've got to understand that it's not going to be easy, and that it really takes effort. And at the end of the day, like I think we talked about off camera, it's a team. Sometimes your team's going to lose, but that doesn't mean you give up on your team. Right. So you just keep working together and kind of move forward. So.
And I mean, I think with you guys, I find it interesting because you guys do work together. You guys are around each other 24/7. When we had the pandemic going on, a lot of couples and, relationships, they just didn't work because they didn't have that freedom to like get away or go to work. Now they have to be under each other's wings all day, every day. How was that for you guys? I mean, since you already had that practice every single day of being around each other.
I'm like, get away from me. That's how get away from me. I need some space. So
it goes right back to like building something together. So the pandemic really wasn't bad for our office. I know a lot of people struggled, but we were really blessed in everything that was going on. We took off more time last year than we did the year before and still did just as well. And then we got to do a ton of projects together and build something else together. So we bought a house recently and we wanted to put in a fence, we wanted to build a shed, we needed to finish a bathroom, and in our time off we got to do all of that. And that was just that camaraderie and building that together is just another thing that like kind of sets us apart, I'd say. And I didn't get tired of her, so
I think COVID kind of taught people that it's okay to take time for yourself. And you know what I mean, you need that
to slow down.
Yeah, to slow down.
Yeah, that is the truth, because when we first started, within like I think the first year, Alyssa took a trip to London, and I said I wasn't going to go because we had just started. I needed to be there. I was afraid of losing money. I was afraid of losing clients, afraid of taking time off. But in the last 2 years, we've been taking trips that are a week, 2 weeks long, and it's been great. It doesn't hurt our business, and it's the most mentally freeing thing ever, and you kind of recollect and grow from it. So
If anything, it's been boosting our business. Because all of our patients are like, well, you need to take time off for yourself. And they're so excited for us. And then we come back and we're busier than we've ever been. So it's like, okay, well, apparently people missed us. So.
And that's how you guys like unwind, like get away from the business, like traveling and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We
What
love
are
to
some
travel.
places that you guys have been?
So our spot is San Diego.
Okay.
We've been there quite a few times. We got engaged there.
Okay,
so
okay. That's why. Okay, I was
that's a
wondering. I'm
spot
like,
for
San
us.
Diego, okay.
Yep. And then we've been to, last year we took a 11-day road trip and went to the Black Hills up in South Dakota, and then over to the Grand Tetons in Yellowstone, and then back through Colorado. And then this year we're going to do more. So we're going to do the Mighty 5 National Parks in Utah, and then down through Vegas and then back. So I'm pretty excited.
Why are we going to Vegas?
We're going to...
What happens in Vegas?
Yeah.
No. Why are we?
In
a
the words
music
of Josh, I would be doing injustice if I didn't tell you guys to talk about your kids. You know, the ones who run around the shop with you, who go with you everywhere. They wouldn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know they wouldn't.
You can talk about them.
So we're like once again blessed. We get to bring our dogs to the office every single day. We have 2 golden retrievers and a Morkie.
Airbud.
Yeah. It's awesome. Actually, our patients love it. I think we've only had like one that didn't really like it, but it's definitely therapy for most of our patients too, and they're awesome. A lot of people wonder how we do it, but it's easy. Just taking care of them. They make you want to. They went on that road trip with us too.
Yeah.
The 11 day. They'll probably go on the road trip this fall too. It's just easier to take them with us. They ride in the back of the car and just hang out.
I think they'll feel some type of way if you guys left them. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
they
yeah.
wouldn't speak to
They'd
you when
be
you came.
so
back.
mad.
Y'all probably leave for 30 minutes, and it's like, I miss you.
Yes, they
Hit you
do.
with that- Hit you with that same. So
That's exactly how it works. Especially when they come to the office with us every day. They're like, oh, they left for an hour? What's going on? Like, where are these guys?
you walk in the office and one to come, greet you, then one to just look at you sitting down. And
They need to be on the payroll. Honestly.
One's the office manager. It's the little one, the Morkie. He's in charge of the office.
It's
I'll
a
let you
little
know.
one, yeah.
So I also want to, touch in with relationships. 8 years, like we're 25, 26 years old. For us, 8 years, that seems like forever to be with someone. I
Same.
mean, because it's so unreal. I'm not gonna say unrealistic, but you don't see it often. It's uncommon now.
Yeah.
So you guys touched on it a little bit about, how do you guys light that fire under yourselves? But how do you just constantly keep growing with one another every year?
You answer that.
Well, it's funny that you said it. It seems like a long time because Alyssa the other day was literally said that it seemed like it had been a couple of weeks that we've been dating because 8 years goes by super fast, and now we've been married going on 6 this September. Really, it's just always working at their relationship, I think. People get way too complacent, and they think that it's supposed to be easy and it's supposed to feel like when you first met, and that's not how it is. And you should just keep dating. Keep doing stuff together, keep experiencing new things. We learn new things about each other all the time, which is just great. So that's really what it is. You have to just keep reinventing it, keep dating and everything.
Also, you're going to go through lulls. Like, it's not always
Yeah.
rainbows and sunshine. Like, we have times where things are just kind of boring, but I think that traveling has really helped a ton because then we get to see, like, each other in different environments, and then I don't know, we fall in love with each other all over again. It's, I don't know. It goes by really, really fast because I was like, gosh, I can't believe we've been together for 8 years already. Like, that is crazy to me. Like, to me, I'm still 25, and now I'm 31, and I feel old, so.
I just said that yesterday. I was like, man, I feel old. Like,
you're
we're like,
young.
man, 25, that's nothing.
Wait
That's
till
right,
you
Mom.
hit 30.
That's right. Yeah, we got married at 25. So.
Yep.
And see, that's what
You got time.
That's what Ree and I always talk about. We're like, man, okay, when our parents were growing up, and even now, we have friends who are getting married at 25 and having kids and things of that nature, and we're like, nah, I just don't see it right now. We're so invested in ourselves, and not in a selfish way, but it was kind of like Ree's in nursing school. He's trying to do his thing. I'm trying to do my thing as far as like my books and all of that. And it's just like we want to have that selfish stage a little bit. We don't want to rush into it.
Yep.
We feel as if some people, and I'm not talking about everybody's marriage or whatever. I can't speak on people's marriages, but they kind of just like get complacent. And they're just like, yeah, we've been together for a couple years. Let's just get married. And then it doesn't work 2 years down the road because, like you guys said, they didn't put the time in to keep knowing each other every single day. They kind of just settled.
Well, I think it's that timeline they put on themselves.
Yep.
And when you're young, you're kind of programmed, and you have that, by this age, I want to have this done, and by this, I want to be this. So I think they fall in the line of that, and we talk about it all the time. I was like, sometimes I feel behind, and I know I'm not, but sometimes I feel behind just because I'm not with the norm. I'm not with that same timeline. I don't have no kids,
Yep.
I'm not married, and I'm 26, so it's it's one of those things. I feel like everybody puts that timeline on themselves,
I-
and that's why, you know what I mean. Like they rush things, you know what I mean. Everything. So
I think that puts unnecessary pressure on people. We got married at 25, but we don't have any kids. We'll both be 31 this year, so that's 6 years of marriage without kids. We didn't start our first real job until we were 27.
right.
So I mean, we had friends that graduated college or just right out of high school. They had a job at 18, so we're 9 years behind them. So sometimes I feel like I'm behind too, but then I have patients that come in that started right out of high school working. And they said, well, why rush it? Like, you're going to work, if you work your whole life, you're going to work
hear
till you're
that
70. So
Yeah.
what's the point? Like, take your path how it is and just enjoy it.
I mean, what would you guys just, say to young, recently married couples, about the process of just growing with one another and just making things work as best as you can?
I think a lot of people get caught up in the idea that the wedding is the marriage, right? So the wedding is really cool. It's one big day. You get to celebrate. But a marriage is so much deeper than that. It's really taking the time and caring about that person, and always, to a point, putting them first. You're choosing to put this person first. And so you have to really step back and be like, do I want a wedding? Do I want a marriage? And then what does marriage really look like? And that just comes down to building something together. And it's not always, like she said, going to be easy. There's going to be ups and downs, but that's just life. That's just how we fluctuate. But when you do get into those lulls, being able to work together and work through it, and then when you have your highs, enjoy the hell out of them. So.
No, I mean, you guys touched based on a lot of things that, Ree and I always have side conversations about, but we never get to really ask married couples. So, I mean, you guys are doing great. Can you tell the audience how they can get in contact with you both?
So,
Don't give your number out so easily.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know.
At least wait 30
My
seconds.
number out that easy.
We're at 10 seconds right now. 15.
She said that to me, and I was like, I don't get my number out that easy. It's 913. I already had a plan. So on social media for our practice, it's just Identity Chiropractic, and that's on Facebook and Instagram. Alyssa's Instagram is Lisser22, LYSSER22. Mine is just ePhillips13.
You just kept it simple.
Yeah, making it easy.
Well, you guys, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. He's Ree Washington. I go by the name of Joshua Hicks. This is another great episode of Opinionated, the podcast, Season 2, Kansas City edition. Love, always.
She said, why is it when I call that you always hit decline? Cause every time I pick up, it's the same thing every time. You ask me how I'm doing, and I tell you that I'm fine. Trying to mask these demons that I sing about every night. She said, why is it